Hello everyone. Welcome to Movie Lit Recaps. In this video, I will show you a horror, slasher movie called Babysitter Wanted, released in 2008. Be aware because this video contains spoilers. The film begins by showing a woman who is being kidnapped by a psychopath. Seen on the woman's body there are many markers that indicate the part that will be slaughtered by the psychopath. Then the psychopath immediately killed the woman by hitting her head with a hammer. Then the scene moved by showing a woman named Angie and her mother named Linda. Angie only lived with her mother because her father had left her. Since childhood, Angie has always been taught by her mother to be obedient to God and to pray diligently. As an adult, Angie became a very religious girl. Angie is currently entering her first year of college. The campus is located in a different city, requiring Angie to live far from her mother. Even though it's hard to let Angie stay away from her, Linda hopes that Angie studies hard and keeps praying to God. After praying together, Angie immediately went to her dormitory in another city. Arriving there, Angie looked for a dorm room that she would occupy. In the dorm, Angie will live in the same room with her new friend, Erica. When Angie got there, she was surprised to see her dorm room which looked very dirty. Erica thought that Angie would come in 2 days, so she forgot to clean up all the trash that was scattered in her room. Erica told Angie that there was no bed for Angie because Erica's former roommate had taken the bed that was supposed to be in the room. Worst, Angie will sleep on the sofa. In the evening, Angie called her mother using a payphone near her dormitory. Angie told her mother that she had reached her dorm safely. In addition, she also told her mother that she had made new good friends and that her dorm room was very nice. She had to lie so her mother wouldn't worry about her. Finished calling her mother, Angie immediately went back to her dorm. While on her way home, Angie begins to feel that someone is watching her. The next day, Erica takes Angie to look for used bed information, which is usually on the bulletin board. But there they did not find any advertisements selling used beds. On the bulletin board, Angie saw an advertisement for a part-time babysitting job. Incidentally, Angie is currently in dire need of money to buy a bed and pay for her daily needs. She was very interested in applying for the job. Not wanting to waste this opportunity, Angie immediately took the phone number listed on the job vacancy. During class time, Angie felt someone was watching her. After that, Angie went to a payphone to ask for the address of the person who needed babysitting services. Angie immediately went to the address of the family who would employ her. On the way to her destination, Angie felt another car following her from behind. But she prefers to ignore it. Then Angie arrived at the Stanton's house. The family consists of a man named Jim Stanton, his wife named Violet Stanton, and their very cute son named Sam Stanton. Then Angie talked to Violet about her job as a nanny for Sam. On Friday night, it was planned that Jim and Violet would go to a farmer's gathering. Therefore they need a babysitter to look after Sam while they are away. After finishing talking about her job, Angie was finally accepted to work there. After that, Angie decided to return to the dormitory. Then Angie met a college friend named Rick. They also talked a bit and Rick planned to invite Angie to have dinner together. However, because Angie doesn't know Rick that well, she refuses the invitation. In her room, Angie meets Erica's friend, Hal. Hal tells Angie that he will sell his bed to Angie. Now Angie just needed to find the money to pay for the bed. Then, Angie immediately went to the local church. At the church again and again Angie met Rick. Apparently, Rick was also a devout person and they began to pray together. Then Rick invites Angie to eat ice cream before they go home. Rick invites Angie to meet again on Friday. Because that day Angie was busy at work, she asked Rick to meet on Saturday and Rick also agreed to meet on Saturday. The next morning, right in front of her bedroom door, Angie saw a missing person notice. Angie became very scared and she decided to go to the local police station. Angie reports that SHE has been followed by an unknown person. And that person intentionally put missing person information in front of her bedroom door. Then the cop said that 27 women had already reported to the police station about the same stalking problem Angie had. The police asked Angie not to panic because many police officers had been deployed to patrol areas that were deemed unsafe. Then the police also gave a number that could be contacted, so that Angie could call in an emergency. After that, Angie returned to the dormitory and prepared to go to the Stanton's house. When she was about to leave, suddenly the car engine could not be started. Luckily, there was Rick who wanted to help Angie. Rick gives Angie a ride to the Stanton family's house and later he will repair Angie's car. When they got there, Angie explained to Jim that her car was broken and her friend took Angie to Jim's house. Then Angie asked Jim for help to take her home later. Before leaving, Violet explained some of the things Angie could do there. She also told Angie that Sam was only allowed to eat food in the refrigerator that had been provided by Violet. After that, Jim and Violet immediately left the house. While looking after the house, Angie started studying. But after only a few minutes there, Angie began to feel that something was watching her. Then Angie called Rick to tell him that Rick didn't need to pick her up, because Jim would be driving her home. When she finished calling Rick, the phone rang again. When Angie answered the phone, strangely she didn't hear any sound. The weirdo kept calling her for several times. At first, Angie thought that it was Rick who called, but when she asked Rick replied that he didn't call her. Then Angie was surprised by Sam, who just woke up. Sam asked Angie to get him some food. Angie was confused after seeing the food for Sam, which was red meat cut into squares. Even though the meat looks very strange, Sam still eats the meat. Then Angie started to feel someone was trying to get into the house. Frightened, Angie immediately called the police station. A policeman named Dinelai said he was going on patrol and stopped by the house to check on Angie. Then Angie realized that Sam wasn't there. At first, Angie thought that Sam was playing hide and seek with her. Angie began to look for the whereabouts of Sam around the house. Because they couldn't find Sam, Angie started to get annoyed at Sam's behavior and hiding from her. Suddenly the landline rang again and the caller was silent when Angie picked up the phone. Then Angie called Rick to tell him the strange thing that had just happened. At that time, Rick was driving the car. Because another car kept honking from behind, Rick was forced to pull over and he immediately turned off the phone from Angie. At Angie's place, Angie was surprised by the arrival of a foreign man who entered the house. Angie quickly tried to find Sam and asked him out of the house. After looking for Sam in every corner of the room, Angie finally found Sam. While trying to chase after Sam, suddenly the man caught Angie. Then there was a little fight between the man and Angie. Angie finally managed to make the man faint on the spot. After the mysterious man passed out, Angie immediately looked for Sam and immediately took him to the car. But unfortunately, Angie forgot to take Violet's car keys, which were still left in the house. Angie was forced to go back into the house to get the car keys. After successfully getting the car keys, the strange man suddenly woke up and tried to hurt Sam. While strangling Sam, the man called Sam the devil. Seeing Sam being strangled, Angie tried to stop the man's action by hitting him with a golf club. When Angie saw the man from a close distance, Angie realized that the man was a priest. But Angie was even more surprised to see Sam, who turned out to have horns on his head. Not long after, Jim and Violet returned home. They both started talking about things Angie didn't understand. Then the priest got up and tried to attack Sam. Quickly, Jim immediately killed the priest. Seeing that, made Angie very shocked and confused about what really happened. After killing the priest, Jim knocked Angie out and took her to a warehouse. Then it is revealed that Jim and Violet are bad people and Sam is actually the devil's child who has been targeted by religious leaders for a long time. This is the reason why the priest tried to kill Sam. For a long time, many priests tried to kill Sam. But they always failed to do so, and this time they couldn't kill Sam either. The person who had been following Angie all this time was the priest. The reason was because he wanted to protect Angie. The priest already knew the strategy used by Jim and Violet to kidnap their victims, namely under the guise of wanting to hire a babysitter. Instead of being babysitters, the girls who applied for the job were mutilated and used as food for Sam. Since Sam is a child of the devil, he can't even eat human food. Sam can only eat human flesh and his favorite meat is the meat of a beautiful girl. The reason why Jim and Violet came out earlier was to kidnap girls and make their meat as Sam's daily meal. After kidnapping the girls, Jim would kill and cut their flesh. Before that, Jim will mark cuts on every body part of its victims. This is the same as the scene we saw at the beginning. Jim killed his victim by hitting his victim's head with a hammer. This is intended so that the victim does not feel excessive pain. After killing his victim, Jim began to cut the victim's body into several pieces. Then Jim will sort out which meat can be given to Sam and which one cannot. The remains of the victims' bodies will be buried in their backyard. Then Violet came to Jim and she said that she had finished packing their things. Since the priest already knew of their new home, Jim and Violet decided to move to another city so that the other priests could not follow them. After cutting the girl's flesh, now it's Angie's turn to be killed. But luckily before that happened, Dinelai came to Jim's house. Jim was forced to meet Dinelai first before killing Angie. Dinelai started asking about Angie's whereabouts because earlier Angie had called the police station about the presence of a stalker. Jim and Violet also lied by saying that Angie had gone home a long time ago. Hearing their explanation, Dinelai immediately left the place. But when he wanted to turn the vehicle around, Dinelai saw Jim's vehicle and wrote down the number plate. Then Dinelai asked the head office for help to check the license plate of the vehicle. And what a surprise, because the number plate did not match the owner. It was there that Dinalai began to feel suspicious of the Stanton family. Back to Angie. After Jim left, Angie immediately took a dagger that she stole from the priest earlier when they were fighting. She quickly cut the rope that tied her hands. When Jim came back and tried to kill Angie, Angie immediately stabbed Jim in the leg and immediately ran away from Jim. Then there was a chase between Angie and Jim. While hiding from Jim, Angie saw Rick's body nearby. It turns out that Jim and Violet have followed Rick wherever he goes and they are trying to kill Rick, because Rick finds out that Angie works as a babysitter for Jim and Violet. If Angie suddenly disappeared, Rick would definitely testify that Angie was last seen at Jim and Violet's house. To avoid that possibility, Jim and Violet try to kill Rick. In the pursuit, unfortunately Angie was caught by Jim. After knocking Angie out, Jim takes her back to the warehouse. There Jim intends to kill Angie slowly so that Angie feels painful suffering. But from behind, Dinalai came just in time and managed to stop Jim's action. As Dinalai is about to handcuff Jim, Violet attacks Dinalai with an axe. Then a fight ensued between them. Long story short, Angie managed to kill Jim and Violet. After the fight, Dinalai immediately took Angie to a safer place. But when they was about to leave, Dinalai remembered Sam, a boy who was still in the house. Dinalai intends to take Sam with them, but Angie immediately stops Dinalai and says that Sam is the devil's child. But suddenly, Sam appeared and immediately killed Dinalai. Angie became very scared of Sam, seeing he had killed Dinalai. There Angie lures Sam into the warehouse. Cleverly, Angie managed to hang Sam's body and immediately hit him on the head until Sam passed out. After that incident, Angie tried her best to get out of there. Because Angie lost too much blood, she fainted in the middle of the road. Luckily the police arrived just in time and they immediately took Angie to the hospital. After a few days in a coma, Angie came back to her senses. There Angie was surprised to see Rick by her side. Angie is very happy to know that Rick is okay. Not long after, Angie's mother also came to see her. Just woke up from a coma, a policeman started asking about the whereabouts of Sam who wasn't around the house. Angie was very sure that she had hanged Sam's body. And it turns out that Sam is still alive because he has been saved by another Satanist cult family. And now the family has started posting advertisements for babysitting jobs on several bulletin boards. The final scene shows Angie and Rick going to Sam's old house to look for the dagger brought by the priest yesterday. There they were both very sure that the dagger they could use to kill Sam, who is a child of the devil. Now the two of them plan to find the whereabouts of Sam so that there are no more casualties. And the story is over.